Hi, my name is Jay Brozost. By way of brief introduction, I was a former federal prosecutor and went in-house at Lockheed Martin, where I stayed for just shy of 30 years. It was at Lockheed Martin that I first became involved with the Council for Court Excellence, approximately in the early 90s. During the years 2011 through 2015, I was chairman of the board. I have so many fond memories of my work at the Council for Court Excellence. Several of those memories involved my colleague and dear friend, Earl Silbert, who recently passed. During my tenure as the chairman, Earl was the president of the council. We worked together on a number of issues. One in particular that came to mind was the jury education program. Both Earl and I felt passionately that high school seniors were about to enter into the jury pool and that they needed to be adequately acquainted with what was required of them for jury service. CCE had put together a comprehensive program that volunteers would take to the different high schools. The program involved a video narrated by Judge Emmett Sullivan, with set forth a crime, the defendant, the evidence in the crime, and presented closing arguments by both a prosecutor and defense lawyer. The students, quote, jury, were instructed as to the law to be applied in this case and to reach a verdict. Earl and I milled about while the students were deliberating and provided our insight and helped them answer any questions they may have about their work. I don't think the students really ever appreciated the legal firepower that was in the classrooms that day. Earl was the first Watergate prosecutor and the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. He was so generous with his time and willing to help. But certainly Earl and I felt we were contributing and providing some help to these students who would soon be out providing their civic duties and responsibilities. As a props kind of guy, I have a picture here of Earl, myself, and the students after one of the classes. You can see that a number of the students are smiling. I sincerely hope that was because they felt they learned something and not because the class was over. Another project that had quite an impact on me involved notarial fraud. Before coming to CCE, I had no idea what notarial fraud was. Notarial fraud is a pernicious type of fraudulent activity where individuals would hold themselves out as experts in areas like immigration and take advantage of the Spanish-speaking community. They would take their money, literally provide no service, and the victims had no redress. CCE became involved and established a working group. It was composed of AYUDA, Catholic Charities, the ABA, the Office of the Attorney General. We met on a number of occasions and came up with a legislative proposal. I was invited to present that proposal to the Judiciary Committee of the DC Council, and I did so on October 17th, 2016. I was very gratified to find out that a number of our legislative proposals were enacted into the DC Code. We had provided some sort of remedy to help this problem, and that was CCE at its best. One final note about my memories of CCE involved Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg was a big supporter of the Council for Court Excellence. One year, she hosted our December holiday party at the Supreme Court. This was very heady stuff to be walking around the Supreme Court. As I was milling about, I saw Earl talking to Justice Ginsburg. A photographer was about to take their picture. Earl waved me over and asked me to be in the picture with them. I took the picture, and as I mentioned, as a props kind of guy, here's a picture of my two legal heroes and myself. They look great. I don't look so great. But it was an incredibly memorable experience for me. It's in my office, and I look at that picture every day. Let me just say, at CCE, I became involved with a number of projects and programs involving the district that in the ordinary course I would not have become involved with. It, for me, was an impetus to action. I am extremely honored to have been a small part of CCE's distinguished history. Happy 40th, CCE. Thank you.